Paragon Trio, do you ever use it?
You can try it, because some of the dogs have gotten sick from it. Is yours okay with it?
Perfectly fine, and I don't have any problems with tickle flavors.
Yeah, I've never had, we use NextGuard and HeartGuard.
Okay.
So same thing, but that trio thing, I thought, I might ask them that about it when we go this time.
Because ever since I've had it, I've never used it, and I've never had it. No, it kind of ticks me, but not.
I know, that's what I was telling Lynn, I'm like, I had ticks, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, good morning. If you all rise, I'll call this Board of Works meeting to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated. I want to welcome everybody today. George, it's always good seeing you. Thank you. Good. Diane, good morning. Before we take a look at the minutes, and then for the record, the entire board is present as well as legal. First item is the minutes from our last Board of Works meeting, seeking approval for that.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented in the last meeting.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second to approve. I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye. The ayes have it. Thank you. And welcome, everybody. There are no reports or written. There is no unfinished business. That'll take us to new business, and we have a road closure request. I think Ryan, the petitioner, is here. Ryan, you can come on up. You don't need to touch the mic. It's everything's set. But good morning to you. And this road closure request, he's filled out the paperwork. You can see it. And then it's just a partial block on Grant between Main and Center. Ryan, what actually is gonna happen here? Why are you seeking this request? Thank you.
Well, it's actually going to be my 40th birthday party, and we're inviting a lot of neighbors over we have a lot of kids in the neighborhood, so we want to set up a pickleball court, and our neighbors across the street are currently living in New Mexico, so there's no one in the house, so we thought that would be minimal closure, and then allow for people in the neighborhood to have fun.
Very safe too. I didn't realize it was for your 40th, but
Yeah.
I do see all the kids over there.
Yeah.
We're in that window right now where there's a bunch of little kids playing on Main.
Yeah.
In Colfax.
Yeah.
My main question had been reading this, I don't like to approve, road closures for private events.
Okay.
So I wanted to know if the neighborhood was involved, and I think the information you gave me would be that it is for the neighborhood to be there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be other people as well, but, I mean, the neighborhood would be able to be there, and it would be for the benefit of the neighborhood, getting together as well as celebrating you.
Yes.
So that was my main question, because I think when we have public streets, we just need to make sure that we don't block them off just for private use for this or that, but, I know on the council, we've been thinking about how we can encourage neighborhood events and more neighborhood community feeling within our neighborhood, so thank you for doing this.
And the press is here, so you'll probably have everybody in town.
All right. Yeah.
Especially when you say pickleball. That's sort of popular. But,
Yeah.
Appreciate your patience too, getting all the paperwork in and communicating with my office. Any other questions or is there concerns about the request?
No, I had my question answered, so I'll make a motion that we approve this road closure.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Happy birthday. Have a great time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes us to the second item. Looks like Jeremy, you have a couple items here. The first one's a pay application for the street department.
Yes, you have pay application number 10 for the street department facility bond. Pay application amount is $225,813.32. And I have reviewed the submittal and the attached
just have one quick question, Jeremy. On this kind of thing, we don't withhold any retainage.
We do. There's
I
a
was trying to read
retainage. So
this
if you
thing,
look
it's
at-
sideways, but, so,
Yeah, it's a little complicated, but so right now, there's roughly 152,000, the 4.1% completed work, 5% stored materials, and then total retainage is 228,614.
okay, so I wanted to know if those two went into that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That was my only question. I'll second your motion, George.
Okay, thank you.
Motion and second, further discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Jeremy. Next item.
Next item is a pay application for the ongoing Winona Avenue engineering. This is pay application 2 in the amount of $13,295, as we continue with the preliminary engineering for that road project.
Well, I know there are a lot of people anxious to see it get started, so I'll make a motion that we approve that.
And I'll second that.
Motion to approve along with the second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Next item is another agreement with Baker Tilly, citywide fee study agreement. This will be part of what we looked at back in March, a few meetings ago, where they're gonna really take a close look at property assessments, property taxes, the local income tax, as well as a variety of other things, just to help us continue to be as informed as possible as we look at SE A1 and the consequences of that. So,
Jeff, I had a question. I noticed on the list of departments that would be studied that the Parks Department wasn't on there. And I know, having been part of the Parks Board, that they take a lot of time setting their fees, but I just wondered if outside eyes on it also might be advantageous.
Yeah, I did miss that. I know that they have a separate rate. Carol, don't listen to me, Lynn. So, yeah, that isn't on there. That is correct. But again, I think, they're the experts and they're the ones that will go through all of this and give us that information. Like I've told you, Diane, your service on the council, and George, you know this. I want to gather, Lynn's been patient with me, as much information, accurate information that I can get. Baker Tilly always says, we won't hit the bullseye, but we do want to provide as much as possible. And yeah, I'm sorry I missed that, and I can't answer that question now, but I'll check. Okay.
Yeah, I was just thinking that they cover a lot of like comparable fees in the area and things like that, but they're going to go really deep into the value of the real estate, into the amount of labor it uses, into the cost of materials, all of those things. And I just thought it might be adequate, and I don't know if the letter is going to preclude that being added, or if it's something that could be added if we approve this.
If you look at the paragraph, it's actually section C, and then they've listed the 9 different areas. It does say meetings may be held with the following department heads per the direction of the city. So again, it might just be a list of the general list they put in there, but Jeff Rao, Nate, all of them, Jeremy and Lynn know this, that they have been working with us very well, and I just saw Jeff at the Mayor's Institute in Indianapolis and talked to him briefly. So all good, but I appreciate you taking a look at that and identifying that for us. That's I think my argument is this is why we need them. This is why we have to go through this, so we have as much information as possible.
When I was on council, people always complained about the cost of these studies we have to do for traffic and everything, but it's critical that we get the experts giving us advice, and that 25,000, especially when you talk about fees and stuff, will definitely be well spent.
And the only thing I can know that maybe they didn't include it is because the park department, their fees that are associated with mostly programming, the rental fees for the buildings might be something to really look at, to see if those are on par, because that probably does go to help with the maintenance of the building.
There and the campground, I think, are the
Yeah.
two big things maybe in the parks department that are,
Right.
that use a lot of manpower.
I do believe Baker Tilly, the reach is gonna be as far as they can take us to help us with this information. And George, like you said, the last thing this community needs is me waving some wand and telling everybody what we ought to do. Or, you know, advising the council, we do need experts. There's multi-millions of dollars involved here, and, they're taxpayer dollars. And so I just feel responsible assisting the council, and I know Diane, you feel the same way. We have, whether we like the information or not, we have it. It's-
And it's data driven.
It is, we're as close to the market, and it's so fluid, it's a moving target. You know, even Representative Snow and Senator Mishler would say the same thing, but, it is coming, and, I wanna be prepared for it. So, appreciate you considering this and, how important it is. Lynn, any other comments? You've been so patient with me yesterday, your help. Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve the citywide fee study agreement as presented.
I'll second that.
motion and a second to approve. Call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Thank you.
And also reach out to Baker Tilly to make sure that they include,
Yes,
if they wanna include the park, or if they can't include the park.
Thank you.
that's a good point. Denny, it's good to see you. I know you've been busy. You got a couple items here. It looks like the first one is a travel request.
Yeah, we got travel requests for 4 of our police officers. 2 will be going down to Nashville for the Law Enforcement Operations Conference. And then 2 of our SROs will be going down for some extra SRO training. There is a difference in the cost with the 2 that are going down to Nashville is because they got 1 hotel room.
You knew what I was gonna ask you.
I did. I see it coming.
I'll make a motion, we approve this travel request as explained.
Second.
Motion to approve along with a second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. Denny, next item is a new hire and changing payroll report.
Yeah, we have 3 seasonal hires coming on board, 2 for the park department, 1 for the street department. 2 merit increases, 1 for Dave Neese, who's out at the wastewater plant as a construction tech, and the other for Taylor Gerhart, who is our systems administrator here at the PD. Does a great job of helping Angie keep all the body cameras, car cameras, telephones, laptops, computers, everything online and moved for those guys. So, and then lastly, Jeff Thompson out of the street department passed the test and received his mosquito license. So he did a little belt and pay to him.
I think we might need that mosquito license this spring if it stays this wet.
Crazy.
Yeah, that might come in real handy.
In light of that, I'll make a motion that we approve the new hire and change.
I'll second that.
Motion to approve along with the second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. Leah? Outdoor seating, good morning.
Good morning. All right, so I have submitted approval for an encroachment agreement between the city and 114 South Buffalo Street, that's Biryani right next door to us. This is for outdoor seating in the alleyway. The owner agrees that there will always be a 5-foot minimum pedestrian access. Outdoor seating is permitted from May 1st, so today until October 31st, and the owner agrees that identifies and agrees to hold the city harmless for any claim or property damage to the city.
Thank you, Leah. Any questions from the board?
Is this one we've done before?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is just a different one.
Yeah, different one.
Hey Lee, I had asked you about the exhibit A, did you ever get an exhibit A?
I did not know. I do have the attachments if you want them. The agreements if you have it.
sorry, section 3.1,
Section what, 3.1?
3.1.
Oh, I see that, yeah, that probably should have just been.
Do you have a picture we can look at?
I don't have one with me. I don't even know if we have one.
Just after chatting with, the owners of Biryani, they wanna do something very similar to what, the previous owner Dave Gustafson had out there. So basically, the way they'll do the outdoor seating, is kind of dictated by the ATC, because they have to kind of gate in that outdoor dining area. So they'll have that pathway up against where the cars are parked, and then they'll have tables and chairs over there. We do have some renderings of the old layout, but I didn't want to distribute those without, exactly knowing what they were gonna propose there, so.
So they're gonna kind of stay on that one
Up
side
against
with
the
the
building,
seating,
yep.
and then we have seating on both sides that the city provides for
Correct.
people. Okay. And I think they had like planters or something that kind of designated where they were, if I stare at it all the time, I guess. All right, okay. I'll make a motion that we approve this outdoor seating request.
I'll second that.
Motion to accept along with the second. Call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Thank you. Leah. Next item, request from the police department. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. The Warsaw Police Department is requesting permission to enter into a fiber infrastructure project with Kosciuszko County. We currently have a shared fiber line with Kosciuszko County for our law enforcement computer hookups. But they've actually initiated a new fiber project with Kosciuszko RMC that will make a direct fiber all the way up to their other businesses, which County Highway, County Work Police Center. So they're requesting RMC to be able to connect with us and to the existing line we have inside of our building to complete the full circle fiber connection. They will cover all, the county covers all the costs, and RMC will provide the installation and maintenance. And Brady could answer any questions on that if you have.
I think the big thing, Brady, we did have that meeting. Any concerns you have, security or what we do, what the county does? I don't know. Tell
No,
us.
that was obviously my main concern, that it was configured in a certain way that it didn't open up any holes or gaps in our security, and there definitely is not. So I mean, this is a win-win for us. For years, we've wanted redundancy to have this connection because it's so important, but also a more fully managed circuit to keep us connected to the county for that law enforcement software. So when the first phase is complete, we'll still only have a primary circuit because we're using a leased fiber circuit from school systems from many years ago, prior to me. And we'll still be able to utilize that once the second phase is completed, but we'll switch over to the more fully managed, if you will, RAMC circuit, and then we'll have a failover with our older existing school fiber network. So at no cost to us, very limited space in our environment to house really not even any power equipment, just some fiber terminations. This kind of a partnership doesn't come around every day, so it's kind of a win for us.
I see the commissioners all signed off on it. Scott, you're all right with this? Yes, I am. Sounds like, makes sense.
Is the fire department not connected into this?
They don't utilize the type of software and connectivity that the police department requires to do their daily on-station systems to access that software.
Oh, okay, so this isn't like what dispatch would run through?
We interconnect with their dispatching system to run our law enforcement software, yes,
And then,
which we do currently. We're just changing
Right.
the fiber circuit that we're using to connect back to it.
but the fire department would still be able to get the dispatch calls if they need.
Oh,
dispatch.
absolutely, yeah. The fire department uses a separate module, if you will, inside of that software for their dispatching, communications, mainly only in their apparatus. So while they're out being mobile, so the fiber connectivity necessity, it just isn't there
Okay,
for, for how they utilize that software.
okay,
Should that change, we'll definitely be back up here again.
yeah.
I was involved in a meeting a couple weeks ago, there's been so much work that's been done, and I was, very comfortable hearing, like we're hearing from Brady right now, head of IT, comfortable. Scott was in that meeting too, so we had legal, our chief of police, Stacy from the IT governance team, there were countless people in there, so, Brady's saying it's a good thing, the chief is saying it's a good thing, and so I'm really consider supporting this.
We appreciate all the work involved.
Yes. But thanks for explaining this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, Brady.
Well, I will make the motion that we approve the MOU with Kosciuszko County for the infrastructure agreement presented.
And I'll second that and thank them for funding this.
Motion to approve along with the second, I'll call for the vote, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, ayes have it, thank you.
Thank you.
Dustin, engineering contract.
Yeah, the first one up is, requesting permission to move forward with the engineering contract with, JPR, Corp. This is for construction design, construction documents and specs, for part of our downtown streetscape on the east side of South Buffalo Street, from the alley to Center Street, and then the south side of Center Street from Buffalo to Indiana. Total contract amount is $50,000, is what we're looking at here. Again, the JPR looked at this, back probably 4 years ago, maybe, 5 years ago, about the whole downtown streetscape. Now we've kind of narrowed that down to an area that has the most topographical challenges, and we're working through that, to start, hopefully as a longer process or a longer project of redoing the downtown streetscape eventually, but this is one segment of it that we're gonna start with, and tackle first, so.
Appreciate your efforts here, and, Dustin, and I know several others, that have been in the past and now presently considering this again. Any questions from the board? Do you have any questions?
No, I know that this was an area that we identified as a concern even when we were looking at the Festival Street project. So I'm glad we're taking a look at what we can do to help the public access those businesses in the south block there. So I'll make a motion that we approve this request.
Second that.
Motion to approve along with the second. Any further discussion?
Just there'll be a lot of, central insight in this, and Jeremy, Justin, Joe, Larry Cohen with the parks, we'll have a collective working with JPR on this. This is just a agreement to hopefully get things, designed, and there'll be a lot of feedback back and forth.
Okay.
Call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. Dustin, next item, the railroad.
Yeah, so, kind of a unique, request before you here. So for many years, our community's experienced very poor railroad crossing conditions. In fact, in many instances, vehicles almost coming to a crawl, to go across our railroad crossings. So for nearly the better part of the last year, city officials, we've been holding meetings with representatives from Norfolk Southern, to improve communication as well as the maintenance of the crossings within our city. Norfolk Southern has been very responsive to our request. Unfortunately, things just do move, a little slower than normal, but they have offered an opportunity for us for a better partnership with the city. So attached, you'll see the contract agreement for Norfolk Southern to upgrade 2 major railroad crossings within our community. This is for the Market Street crossing, and the Winona Avenue crossing, which does have 2 tracks on it. These would be replaced with full-depth rubber panel grade crossing surface, as well as rail replacement to support the new crossing material. You can see this on the CF&E railway there at Jefferson and State Road 15 or Detroit Street. That one was put in, I believe, probably around that 6-7 years ago, and it's still in very, very good condition. So that's what we're shooting out for there. You can see coordinated with city OAC provided an attached guidance letter to clarify the ability to award a contract to the sole service provider. You can see his attached letter there as well, regarding that. But the railroad crossings, we have about 16,000 residents in the city of Warsaw, a little more than that during the day with industry and all the job markets and stuff, that the population more than doubles. This has been a struggle that we've been facing for as long as I can remember with the rail crossings. I mean, typically the asphalt upgrades that they do yearly or every other year often fail rather quickly. So this is a chance to partner with them. We gotta put a little skin in the game here, but to partner with them to hopefully create that longevity for the crossings, and not just for the community, but for the entire community, not just the city. So, big thanks to Stacy. She's here. She's been setting up all these meetings for the last year and sitting in the room with us, but thanks for all your help in doing this. And I don't know if Scott has any comments as well, but.
I just appreciate your efforts. I know Scott here at the end, and then Stacy has told me I'm not allowed to talk to them, so she's the one who's been guiding all this. And it's been real positive. There's a lot of money involved, but I firmly believe it's in our best interest, not only for our residents, but the countless people. Has anybody driven over those tracks recently? Think of the positive impact that we've had, and I hope it'll hold on Center and Main. What we went through for years, and then the recent improvements, I firmly believe, and everybody at the table also agrees, local dollars are gonna extend the life of the crossing, which in the end is gonna protect the community from, and a year or two, then we gotta wait another year or two to get it addressed. So real excited about it. There's even been discussions about other crossings that I don't think we should mention, but I'm not, but they are working very hard to help the community when it comes to crossing railroad tracks. So, I say that okay? Good?
Yeah, no, the whole gamut here is to improve the relationship between the city and also improve the crossings, number one.
Scott, why did you have to create this, or what's the unique
Well,
situation?
so,
Yeah.
Indiana statute requires municipalities to bid large ticket items, and that's a good thing, right? So you get good costs, make sure it's fair, make sure different vendors have a chance to provide a quality product, and it's not self-dealing. But Norfolk Southern Railroad is who works on the Norfolk Southern Railroad crossings. There's no other way to do it, and that makes sense. They have to coordinate with the railroad, like when the trains are coming through, so that they can have the appropriate amount of work done that they need to have done, and coordinate with all that. So simply, they are the truest definition I can think of a sole source provider of who's able to do that work. It kind of reminds me a little bit of when we did the power lines at the airport. The electric company is who lowers the power lines at the airport. No one else is going to do that. And so Norfolk Southern Railroad's familiar with what it takes to put in this better, much better, full depth rubber panel grade crossing surface. And we know those are really good compared to the asphalt ones. It's necessary. Dylan's been involved with them. They've been out a number of times to do the site surveys. They've taken all their measurements. I think in talking with Dustin, they provided a detailed list of the items that they need so that the pricings are all set out in detail. So this avoids your requirement. You as the Board of Works just have to accept and approve and agree that this is a sole source provider of this work for us to not have to submit it out for bid. And I think Dustin's done a good job of explaining, and I've done a good job of explaining, and I think you all understand that this is a sole source provider. There's just not other vendors who can provide this product. And more so, I think with Dustin working with Norfolk Southern, they've come several times, and so they have a good plan. They know what they need to do. This isn't a guess. So that number seems pretty solid, and it seems reasonable, and it seems thought out, so. And then they're coordinating with the city, I know, Norfolk Southern, because it does cause some disruption. I think there's gonna be some, the tracks will be closed while they're working, so they can get that work done, but the first step is for you to approve. We don't have to pay for the labor.
That's just what I was gonna ask. It looks like reading this, we're paying for the materials, but not.
We're just paying, and we're paying for the materials because it's an upgrade
We want the better materials.
over what they would normally do. So they would do the asphalt portion, but this is, I don't think anybody would disagree that this isn't better. You've been over the good railroad tracks compared to all the other railroad tracks, and this is safer and better. So I think it makes sense that Dustin asks you to approve this and the reason why it's not being put out to bid.
I'll just say a huge thanks for the efforts, the hours of communicating back when I first came into Office Center in Maine. It was back in '24. And now with Dustin, Stacy, Jeremy's been involved, Scott, there's just been a lot of hands on this. To get to this point, it's very, very encouraging for the thousands of people again that cross these tracks each and every day, and just perspective, discussions and efforts late last year on this, and just how complex and serious it is with the railroad and what they have to do. Probably Dustin won't be here until the fall, late summer, fall.
Right, yeah, if approved, it is slated to still both of the crossings be completed yet this year.
Yes.
As long as it's after the Indiana Street closure.
It will be.
It will be after
Streets
that.
closed.
Gotta be after that.
Yeah. Well, I thought our city attorney's explanation was excellent in writing and today. So I will make a motion that we approve the agreement with Norfolk Southern as presented.
And I'll second that in the hopes that this is only the beginning of many more agreements like this to come.
Any further comments? Dustin, thanks again.
Good.
I didn't mention Lynn. Lynn's been aware of it and working with us, so appreciate it.
Sounds like Stacy needs a diplomatic badge.
I don't think any mayor has ever had a good relationship.
It's just been,
Or
it's
has
been,
been not
it's
frustrated
been,
by the railroad.
it's been positive.
It has,
So
we've met with
that-
them 3 different times on site, so again, like, going through the measurements and what these estimates are, they are accurate, they are field measured, they're not done from a computer screen, so, they have been thoroughly gone through, and unforeseens aren't really a major concern, because the railroad doesn't let anything in the right of way anyway, so, that's another positive thing, so, with that, I'm good.
Call for the vote, and thank you again. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Brian, good to see you again.
So this is a payout for a project we're working with Whistler. To put in some drying beds at the plant. That's where we will dump our back trucks after, when they get full. We used to have them at the old plant. They got demolished when we completed that project. We put in a tank to dump into, and you dump into these roll-off hoppers, and you put liners in them, and we end up hauling quite a bit of water to the landfill. So this is gonna allow us to haul a lot drier material, be more efficient, quicker, not have to haul as often. But this is just the beginning of that project. Probably do construction next year. It is using our remaining SRF funds from that loan. It's not coming directly out of our general fund.
motion that we approve, this payout for, with Wexler Engineering to install the drying beds.
And I'll second that.
Motion to approve along with a second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That'll take us to claims, and if I remember right from this morning, there are no special.
There are no special
No
things,
special, those claims are special.
just the regular docket and the end of the month docket.
Do you have any questions about the document?
No, I had one and I asked one, and I understand now.
I had none, and I got an answer, it said aye. We'll make a motion that we accept the claims dockets as presented.
And I'll second that.
Motion in a second to accept both as presented. I'll call for the